Well, a very good Thursday morning, everyone. This is Storm Team 7 meteorologist Malachi. We just got the latest information in on Hurricane Irma. It's still a Category 5 storm. We want to give you a little update on the storm before our 11 a.m. show, or our 12 o'clock show, I should say. We're going to give you the latest on the 11 a.m. updates to show you what we're looking at this storm. Now, what we're seeing with Irma still maintaining a Category 5 status, a very healthy storm, as you can see. And again, this is our 24-hour loop, and you'll just see how it just plows through portions of the Caribbean. This is expected to maintain its strength, a great big storm as far as its power and its strength. Not a large storm. It's only about 300 miles wide, but that's obviously large enough that it is causing a lot of damage across the Caribbean. Many of those island nations were just flattened as that storm rolled through over the last 24 hours. You can see the storm right now, a very well-defined eye, that center wall. That's where the highest wind speeds are with the storm, but those outer bands are now starting to extend over the Dominican Republic, over Haiti, heading towards the Turks and Caicos. And as you can see there in the left-hand side of the screen, that is Cuba. It will start affecting Cuba very shortly. All right, as we take a look at the latest information, at 11 a.m., about 120 miles southeast of the Grand Turk Island, 175 mile an hour sustained wind, still a Category 5 storm. And the importance here is that it is a storm that has potential for a lot of damage in these island areas as it continues to move to the west-northwest at about 16 miles an hour. As we take a look at what we're seeing into Saturday afternoon, still maintaining that strength at a Category 4 storm. Eventually, though, it looks like in our forecast, it's starting to make that turn Saturday night into Sunday morning towards the north. And where and when it makes that turn is going to be extremely important and will have a major impact on the coastal communities and upstate and mountains of South Carolina and North Carolina as we head into next week. So the turn right now looks like Saturday evening, Sunday morning, and then making a way somewhere close to making landfall. We've been very consistent with the models in saying that it looks like the landfall will happen somewhere near Miami, South Florida, as that storm makes that turn to the north. We're talking Sunday evening, and that would cause lots of damaging winds, flooding, rain, storm surge in all of those areas. And it's still maintaining that Category 4 status as it races up the Space Coast, Treasure Coast on the east coast of Florida up towards Cape Canaveral, the Orlando area, and then works its way past Jacksonville early Monday morning, where Jacksonville, Florida, still a Category 3 storm, has lost a little bit of its strength, but back over open waters is expected to stay on the high side as far as the strength. 11 a.m. on Monday, and then this is where we pay close attention to the storm as it heads towards Charleston in the low country of South Carolina at 11 o'clock in the evening on Monday. It could be making landfall anywhere from Myrtle Beach to Charleston, Hilton Head, Savannah, Georgia, as a major hurricane, a Category 3 storm, possibly making landfall in South Carolina or Georgia at that time on Monday evening. And here's the important part about this. This is a storm that, if it's able to maintain a Category 3 status when making landfall, it's going to stay on the high side with damaging winds and producing several inches of rain, several 100 miles inland, and that does include areas like Columbia, does include damaging winds and heavy rains in areas like Greenville, Spartanburg, Anderson, even up towards Asheville and Hendersonville. So we will have to watch this very closely as we get a little bit closer to Monday evening. And the forecast model, the official track, keeps it moving through the upstate through Tuesday evening before it starts to get absorbed and moves out of the area. But a storm moving at this speed with this type of energy would produce massive amounts of rain and flooding across the upstate and western North Carolina. So we'll watch this very closely. One of our forecast models does a pretty good job as far as predicting rainfall amounts. We'll pick this up on Sunday morning, and the lines you're seeing there are the pressure lines. You'll be able to see pretty distinctly where we think the storm would come in on this model, and you'll see rainfall totals. Highest are where you would expect them to be along the coastline. 3 to 7 inches of rain possible from Wilmington, North Carolina, down through Myrtle Beach, Charleston, and Hilton Head. Obviously, if they get that amount of rain, we are talking massive flooding in those low-lying areas. You move a little bit farther inland, Columbia, Orangeburg, 3 to 4 inches of rain possible. And then as you move into the upstate, Greer, Greenwood, and Spartanburg and Greenville, we're talking 2 to 3, possibly as much as 4 inches of rainfall in about a 24-hour time period, which would cause some localized flooding. And up towards Asheville, we're talking about 2 inches of rain as the system moves through. We're talking Sunday night through Monday and early Tuesday. That same time frame will also be dealing with strong gusty winds as what is Irma will be working its way into the Carolinas and northeast Georgia. Look at these wind speeds. Tuesday morning, as the storm is onshore, we're looking at 60, 70 mile an hour wind gusts in areas like Columbia, like Augusta, Charleston, Savannah. That would knock down power lines and trees, and that would be a big concern. Here in the upstate in the mountains, 40 to 50 mile an hour winds, that would also be enough as we're talking about the heavy rains that will be coming in to push over some power lines and some structures as well. That's where you want to be in a more sturdy structure. And because we'll be on the east side of the storm in this path, areas like Columbia, areas like Greenville, areas like Spartanburg, Greer, Gaffney, Union, you'll want to pay close attention, Lawrence, Newberry, because the right front quadrant of storms, as you're looking at the storm, that right side, those are the areas that have the strongest winds, and those are the areas that would be able to spawn possibly some isolated tornadoes as we go through Monday evening and early on Tuesday. So this will bear watching for us in the Weather Center. And again, for you guys at home, make sure that you have our weather app, that you are prepared if something does happen with this storm. Now, it will start to die down as it moves farther inland. Storm will lose a lot of its strength, but early Tuesday morning, we're still talking wind gusts 30, 35 miles an hour in the upstate and western North Carolina. So that is what we'll have to watch out for on the current path of Irma. And again, I want to emphasize, we are within the 3 to 5 day time period. We're very confident in the storm path up to 3 days. But once we get to 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, the confidence goes down a little bit as the pattern has changed a bit in those long-term forecasts. But in the immediate forecast, we're pretty confident that this is a storm that up to this point on Sunday morning will be offshore of South Florida. Heading towards Sunday night into Monday, the storm makes its way up the East Coast. Here at home, we'll start seeing the rain bands start to work their way in early Monday morning with a few light to moderate showers in the upstate. Areas south of I-85 have the best chance to start seeing rain early on Monday morning. Now, Monday afternoon, we start to see that heavier rain spill into the upstate, through the Midlands, working its way towards the mountains. And then as we head towards Monday evening, that's where we really expect to see the heaviest rains work their way into the upstate and into western North Carolina through Monday evening after midnight. And some of those lingering showers are expected to stay around through Tuesday. So again, we're talking heavy rains in this time. We are talking about localized flooding. And again, with those strong gusty winds, we can't rule out the fact that some power lines will get knocked over and trees will fall down. So you will want to prepare for the possibility of losing power Monday night into Tuesday morning. So Hurricane Irma, the latest update, South Carolina coast is in the path, or as of right now, it looks like it's expected to make a landfall or at least come very close to the coastal area of South Carolina, if not work its way inland as we head towards Monday. We're still talking 3 to 5 days away, so the forecast will change a bit as we get a little bit closer to that timeline. And again, on the coast, the biggest concerns would be wind, widespread flooding, storm surge, as those low-lying areas will see heavy amounts of rain. And in the upstate and the mountains, rain and some localized flooding will be possible with this storm if Irma keeps its current path. So we'll have to watch that very closely as we get closer to the weekend. This is the time that you'll want to really do some prep work. Just make sure that you look around your property, make sure things are secure, because we'll be talking about gusty winds. Things could fly around. Make sure you have your lawn furniture outside. Bring that in. More importantly, make sure that you are prepared in case the power goes out, because I think that would be the biggest concern that we'll have Monday night into Tuesday. Power going out, a little bit of localized flooding, but losing power would be the big issue and the big thing for a lot of people. And obviously, we'll have to watch that very closely. Again, that timeline brings the storm, some of those impacts of the storm, the wind and the rain, into the upstate and western North Carolina as we head towards Monday, mainly afternoon, Monday evening, and some lingering into early Tuesday morning. And of course, we'll have all of this information for you at 7 News at noon. With that, we'll have a complete rundown of Irma. We'll talk about our forecast over the next couple of days and what you can expect from the storm system, and tell you kind of what we're looking at as far as the path of the storm and what could influence the storm or what could make it go in some other different directions, some variables that we're looking at. So again, we want you to be safe. We'll keep you updated. We'll keep updating our website here. We'll also keep updating you on Facebook with posts. And again, if you have any questions, please feel free to send them to us here at the station, WSBA.com. And again, we will be talking more about this, obviously, coming up on 7 News at noon. We'll see you then. Thank you.